Hey guys, what's going on? It's King Clutch here, and today guys, we're back on the NBA 2K20. I hope you guys are having a great day and everything is going well for you. Today what we're doing is I'm going to be showing you guys how you can create Carmelo Anthony here in NBA 2K20. Now, when you want to make this build, guys, you're going to want to make this build a small forward, right-handed, jersey number 7. You can go 00. That stuff doesn't matter. The handedness and the jersey number, again, does not matter. I just went position. I went for a small forward. That is what Carmelo is. Jersey number, that doesn't really matter. I just went with 7 for the New York Knicks, Carmelo Anthony. But again, that doesn't really matter. Now, when it comes to the skill breakdown for this Carmelo build, guys, I feel like you have two choices. And the two choices would be the finishing in the shooting pie chart. This is a great pie chart. You can finish a little bit better, and your post fade is great on this build. It's a 90. Or you can go pure playmaking. To me, the two most important things on this build are your post fade and your post moves. Those are like your two most important statistics. And me personally, going pure playmaking to me makes a little bit more sense. Your speed's a little bit better. Your physical stats are a little bit better going with the pure playmaking chart than going the shooting finishing pie chart. So you could go either or, but I'm gonna go pure playmaking. I feel like that's what defines Carmelo a little bit more. Obviously, he is a natural born scorer, and you can make an argument for either of them. Realistically, you can go either or. Your mid-range shot is very similar. It's a 70 or it's a 79 or 78 here and a 79 here. So they're very close. The biggest difference is your post fade versus your post moves, but I'm just going to go pure playmaking. We get a little bit better physical attributes going with that with a small forward build. So we're going to go with this one. When it comes to this physical profile for a Carmelo build, if you would like, you can realistically go ahead and take this pure speed pie chart. I really don't see a problem with that build, with this for this build, just because you're a small forward and you want to be quick. And making small forwards, this is the quickest way you can make a small forward by picking the pure playmaking chart. That's the quickest way you can do it. That's the way you can get the most speed. But for me, Carmelo build, I could see you arguing this speed and vertical pie chart as well, but I'm going to go balance. I feel like that is what defines Carmelo. He has pretty good strength. He has a decent vertical. He has decent speed. He's not like the quickest. He's not the slowest. He's not the strongest. He's not the weakest. So I'm going to go balance. I feel like that's what defines Carmelo Anthony, but you don't have to do that. I'm going to go the balance pie chart for this physical profile. Actual attributes for the potential, guys, I'm going to go ahead and max out my close shot, my driving layup, my driving dunk, and then take my standing dunk up to a 41 so we can get our 9th finishing badge. So I'm also going to upgrade all of these shooting stats. So we're going to max all of these out, and then I'm going to rip this free throw down so we can still get 15 at an 81 there. Now we're going to upgrade our ball handle and our post moves. Max both of those out. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my perimeter D, my lateral quickness, my steal, and then take my defensive rebound up to a 75. So to 74, we can still get that 3rd defensive badge. And if you can see, you can max it out here if you'd like. But that's where this comes into, you can kind of make your decision for yourself. So we have 27 spots left. Realistically, I think this build is okay with 3 defensive badges. Defensively, that's not what you're trying to focus on with this build. So what you can do is you could spend these on a defensive category. You could like max out your defensive rebound and then get your 5th defensive badge. But I really feel like that's not the best option. What I think you can do is you can throw these on your post hook to give yourself more finishing badges. You can put them on standing dunk too, either or. And then you can get your 11th finishing badge. What I feel like a better choice almost to do is spend these on your pass accuracy, because then that's giving you 28 playmaking badges, and that in total is 5 more playmaking badges. In Carmelo, he can't throw like it's not like he throws like really inaccurate passes, but this way you have a plethora of playmaking badges. You can create your own shot, and that's what I feel like Carmelo does a lot. So I feel like that's what helps resemble Carmelo. It's not like his handles, they're not like Kyrie Irving, but he never gets the ball stolen from him. He like does not get the ball stripped. All of his prime years, he holds the ball really close to himself, and he's able to make moves very consistently without getting the ball just stripped from his hands. So I'm going to go with this for my stats. This is going to give me 9 finishing badges, 15 shooting, 28 playmaking, and 3 defensive badges. Now for the body shape, this doesn't matter. This is more personal preference. Again, you can pick whatever you'd like. I'm going to go defined. This has no preference or deal with your player. We're just going to go with that. Now for the height, guys, Carmelo is listed as 6'8", but I'm going to make this build 6'7", just for the reason I don't think it's really worth going that extra inch. Your ball handle gets hit. This way we can still get decent dribble moves and everything. And the rest of our stats just don't go down. I mean, the only thing that goes up is your strength and your interior D, and to me that isn't worth it. Your standing dunk too, but it's not really worth that extra inch. So I'm going to go with this 6'7" height, so we're able to get both worlds. I know we're an inch shorter, but really 6'7" for this build. You're still decently fast for a 6'7". So I just checked online, and it said Carmelo is listed as 240. That was funny. It's in the game last night against the Rockets, so they were calling him Skinny Mellow, things like that. For this weight, though, what I'm going to do is if you can try to mess with this and find a sweet spot, and it looks like if you go 217, you get a +1 to your lateral quickness and don't lose anything. So realistically, you could leave this in the middle. I probably wouldn't go 240, to be 100% honest, just because it tanks your excel and your vertical, and I don't want that. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to leave it right around the middle, probably go with this 217. So we get that +1 to our lateral quickness, but you can go 240 if you want. You can go a little bit higher. The weight, I feel like, doesn't have too much of a deal on your player, but I'm just going to go with the 217. It said Carmelo's wingspan is 84 inches even, so that would be this median spot here, this 83.8. That's the closest we can get than an 84-inch wingspan. What you can do with this wingspan is you can leave it in the middle, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it down to 81.9, because this it doesn't hurt us too much. It doesn't much of anything. I really don't want really short arms with this build, but this way we're getting a +2 to our 3-point, a +1 to our mid-range, and then a +1 to our ball handle. So I feel like this is a good median spot. It's not like small, but it isn't too large. Really, you can leave it in the middle as 83.8, but I'm going to leave it at 81.9 for the wingspan, so we're going to go with that. And then for these takeover options, we're getting 4 choices. We're getting playmaking, post scoring, slashing, and shot creating. Now, for Carmelo, I feel like it's obvious. I'm going to go post scoring takeover. That's what seems Carmelo is the most known for. He's able to score in the post. He does all those post fadeaways and things like that, so we are going to go post scoring take. You can go ahead and pick any of these other ones, though. I feel like you can make an argument for shot creating. You can probably do slashing if you want to be cheese, and playmaking if you kind of want to have fun with the build. You can make a pretty good playmaking small forward with that. But I'm just going to go post scoring because I feel like that is what defines Carmelo Anthony the most, so we're going to go with that. When it comes to this build, we are going to get a slashing playmaker, similar to DeMar DeRozan, Latrell Sprewell, Gordon Hayward. Now, I know it doesn't say Carmelo. I don't even know if you can get this thing to say Carmelo. I really haven't seen anybody. And I really don't think this build is even a slashing playmaker, to be 100% honest. And I think it's kind of dumb that with the pure playmaking pie chart, we can still get a slashing playmaker build when we didn't even pick the finishing pie chart. I just think that's kind of weird that 2K has that this year. It's been going off. He played great against the Rockets last night. I was upset the Rockets lost because I want to see the Suns get the 9th seed, and I want to see the Suns get in the playoffs because Book's game winner and everything was awesome. To the point, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the badges I would throw on this Carmelo Anthony build. You know, Carmelo's one of the GOATs of the NBA. He came back. He showed everybody up, which is awesome. I love that because nobody wanted him. He got cut from the Thunder, cut from the Rockets, you know, wasn't on a team. The Blazers picked him up, and he's been playing great. Props to him. Like, he's been doing awesome, which is amazing. For these badges, I'm going to put Contact Finisher on gold. I feel like that's an obvious one. I'm going to put Fancy Footwork here on silver. I'm putting Relentless on bronze. I'm going to put Acrobat on bronze. Now, realistically, if you don't necessarily need to use Relentless Finisher. What you can do is take that off and then put Back Down Punisher up to gold. I feel like Back Down Punisher with this build especially is something you might want to consider because Carmelo could back people down. He could back people down and fade out of those shots. So I'm going to leave it like this, but you could easily, you know, not have that up as high and throw Relentless on here or Slithery Finisher. Acrobat is good, so if we do any like fancy layups, we have a better chance of making those. Now for the defensive badges, we only have 3 spots. There's a few things you could do with this. Now realistically, Carmelo is a very good rebounder, so you can argue go Rebound Chaser on gold, to be honest. I'm going to leave it on silver, and I'm going to put Intimidator on bronze. Now, you could leave this on bronze and put Intimidator on silver, mix it however you'd like. You could, you know, leave those on bronze and then throw Interceptor on here too. There's a multitude of things you can do. It really doesn't matter. It comes down to personal preference. But I would say Rebound Chaser, Intimidator, and Interceptor would be the 3 badges I would pick from with these 3. When it comes to these shooting badges, guys, I'm going to put Quick Draw on silver so we're able to, you know, have a little bit sped up jump shot. Now, if you can put this up to gold if you'd like. Me personally, I just like it on silver. I'm going to leave it there, but you can put it wherever you'd like. Now, I'm going to put Volume Shooter up to silver. I might higher this up a little bit. You could argue, you know, he should have this on Hall of Fame because Nick's Carmelo was shooting all the time. Like, every single shot he could get, he was throwing up. I'm going to put Difficult Shots up to silver just because Carmelo would shoot a lot of runners and things. He'd shoot a lot of leaning twos, things like that. So we're going to use that there, and we can use that regardless. He shot off the dribble a lot, so we're going to use that. Now I'm going to put Catch, Shoot, and Corner both on bronze just so we're able to get a little bit of statistic boost. In general, I feel like those badges are worth putting on bronze. Now I'm going to put Deadeye up to silver and Deep Fades up to silver because Carmelo would shoot a lot of fade. This is what we have so far. Now we have 3 spots left. I haven't put Range Extender on here yet. I'm going to throw it up to gold, but what you can do is lower this and then argue about Hot Zone Hunter and Green Machine as well. You don't need to necessarily use those, but these are just some ideas of some badges you could use for this Carmelo Anthony build for these shooting badges, guys. When it comes to these playmaking badges, we have a ton of these, which is great. I feel like this is good for our Carmelo. We're going to go ahead and put Handles for Days on Hall of Fame, Quick First Step on Hall of Fame, Space Creator on Hall of Fame. Now I'm going to put Tight Handles on gold just so we're able to, you know, help break down our defender. And if you guys actually read it, it helps break down and it can help stumble people. So I'm going to use those there. Now I'm going to put Unpluckable and Stop and Go both on bronze just so we have those. Now I'm going to put Bailout on silver in case case we get a bad animation, we're able to use those. And we got 9 spots left. Now you're like, we have so many, you can use so many of these badges. Realistically, I'm going to put Post-Spin Technician on Hall of Fame. I'm going to put Dream Shake here onto Bronze. Especially Carmelo, he's going to be doing a lot of fakes in the posts, things like that. You're going to want to be able to do those. You could argue to put this higher. But what I'm going to do is, since this build has 28 Playmaking badges, generally this build is going to have the most Playmaking badges on your park team or your rec team. Here, Playmaking pie chart, you're too shy of the most you can possibly get without being a legend. Realistically, with this build, I would say you would throw Floor General on this build. I'm going to put it on here just for the reasoning of you're probably going to use this build as your best offensive player, your best facilitating scorer type player. I'm going to use that there. You don't need to use Floor General. I would say I would contemplate using Floor General or Dimer though. Another badge you could argue would be Break Starter, is because Carmelo, if he, got the ball off of a rebound, especially now when he gets the ball off a rebound, he's not necessarily the one bringing the ball up. He'll pass it to Dame or CJ or somebody else. On Hall of Fame, you could argue for Dimer, Break Starter, you could hire up Dream Shake. Those are some good choices. But overall, I feel like this is a really good build, and this name does not really identify with what the build actually does. But this is a great way you can make a Carmelo Anthony-like build here in NBA 2K20, guys. If you guys did enjoy this NBA 2K20 player build, and if you want to see more NBA 2K21 player builds coming up here soon, please subscribe to the channel, guys. We got 1K going on the way. But anyways, guys, it's been King Clutch here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Anyways, have a great rest of your day, and peace out, guys. Thanks.